It's your boy Dgotsauce back with a live stream. Episode number 13, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I already know, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on y'all way in. Appreciate y'all. Really do. Feels like it's been a little bit of time since I've been on the live, but I've still been posting every day pretty much and staying up to date with what's going on here out in these streets, you know what I mean? So um it's been a productive week. I'm actually switching my lane of my career. So I have a week off. This week is my week off, and it's the first day of school for my kids too. So I got to experience that, and I was very, very excited that I had time to spend, you know, just see the get to experience the first day of school. A lot of parents don't get to see that. So, I was very thankful in that position. But um we we are blessed, man. Blessed. It's been a great week. Things are going good. Things are going where they're supposed to be going and moving according to plan. And we just not giving up, man. We're not giving up. We're not giving up on our goals. We're not giving up on our dreams. We pushing. We motivated. We staying positive, and things is just gonna go the way we want it to go, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all shit, man. We gonna get into the show, man. Episode number 13, man. Season 2. Season 2. We've been pushing along, man. We've been growing. We ain't growing the fastest ever. But we doing what we gotta do, man. We staying consistent, and it's showing. It's showing. I've been seeing what y'all been saying in the comments. Been seeing. Y'all said to get a mic cover. Boy got a mic cover. All right. Moving on up. We getting better. I'm telling you. So the P's and the B's, it should sound crisp. Okay? It should sound crisp. So please let me know in the chat, comments down below, even if y'all are replaying and watching this later. Sound good now. Sound good. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. I hope y'all are blessed. Man. We gonna start it off in Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota. There was a school shooting.
Now, DHS Secretary
details have emerged. New details have emerged about this new school shooter. This Catholic school shooter. I hope y'all have the same energy when y'all see who it is. Let's tune into the video. See what's going on out there in these.
All of America is mourning this tragedy, including President Trump, who has ordered all flags to be flown at half-mast through Sunday. We go now to Lucas Tomlinson with the latest from the administration. Lucas.
Like button for your boy,
Good morning, Ashley and Todd. The shooter was born Robert Westman, but changed his name to Robin 6 years ago. First Lady Melania Trump offering her condolences, writing, quote, "My heart is shattered for the families and friends of the victims of today's senseless and depraved violent act. The shooting began during a school-wide mass marking the beginning of the school year at around 8:30 local time yesterday morning. The shooter opened fire with a rifle, shotgun, and pistol, all legally purchased weapons, according to police. 2 children ages 8 and 10 were killed. 17 others were wounded, including 14 children and 3 elderly individuals. Also, according to police, his mother previously worked at the school. FBI Director Kash Patel is calling this a hate crime, posting, "The FBI is investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and hate crime targeting Catholics. The FBI will continue to provide updates on our ongoing investigation with the public as we are able." Now, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the shooter at the Catholic school was a 23-year-old man claiming to be transgender. The words "for the children" and "where."
Let me know y'all thoughts about this down below. I'd really like to know y'all. So we got a transgender shooting up a Catholic school. I really want to know y'all thoughts, man. Let me know y'all thoughts because it can't just be me talking about it. Y'all got to talk about it too, man. But this is the guy / girl. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is. This is him. I'm confused. I'm not going to lie. Let me know y'all thoughts.
Is your God and Kill Donald Trump were written on a Rifle magazine. That's according to Kristi Noem. She also said, quote, our deepest prayers are with the children, parents, families, educators, and Christians everywhere. We mourn with them, we pray for healing, and we will never forget them. Now, there have been 415 hostile acts against the church across the country this year. There's also been a sharp rise in attacks on Christians over the past 7 years. Attacks have increased 730% since 2018. Now, the shooter fired through the windows of the church and did not enter the building. He later died by suicide. Ashley, Todd.
Lucas Tomlinson live for us. Lucas, thank you. In just a few hours, Minnesota officials are expected to give an update on the shooting as we learn more about the shooter and their motive.
The coward that shot these victims took his own life in the rear of the church. That coward has been identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman. No prior criminal history. As to the weapons used to perpetrate this horrific attack, there was a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. All three had been lawfully purchased by the shooter. At this stage, we believe that the shooter had acted alone. We are also aware of a manifesto that the shooter had timed to be released on YouTube. This manifesto appeared to show him at the scene and included some disturbing writings.
The shooting happened in Hennepin County, where Rich Stanek served as the sheriff. He joins us now. Rich, thanks for getting up and talking to us about this. I wish it was on better terms here, but what makes me the most sick about all of this, when you think about it, are those two kids who lost their lives. Their parents were putting them to bed for the last time the night before he was filming this horrific and disturbing manifesto about what he was going to do the next day. And that does not sit well with me, and I know it doesn't sit well with other parents. Did you ever think that something like this would happen where you served as sheriff?
There really aren't words that can describe what happened yesterday here in Minneapolis.
Have to do with two kids dying, getting shot, 17 others hurt. What does that have to do with anything? I'm confused, Nico.
I mean, reprehensible, cowardice, and honestly, the third one I can't even say on live TV. And talking with first responders who were at the scene, they said it was horrific and ghastly. Young kids, parents, the most vulnerable parts of our society, a church service, young school-age children in school that first week celebrating together, and then you have something like this.
When you talk to your colleagues in law enforcement there on the ground in Minnesota, had any of them heard anything about this killer before? In other words, was she on anybody's radar?
The investigation will tell what exactly was the true motive. You've heard the FBI say they're looking at it as a domestic act of terrorism. You've heard them say they're looking at it as a hate crime. He really didn't have much of a criminal history. May have been a graduate of the school. Still a lot of facts that need to be dug up and brought to light. But at this point,
I think it's clear as day, man, what type of motive this was. I think it was an attack on the church and, religion. That's just my opinion. Y'all might think differently. I would really like to know y'all thoughts, but I think that this is what they would call in the church like a spiritual battle, you know what I mean, where the devil is trying to take out some of God's people. You could look at it that way, and you could just look at it from the regular common sense way. This is a stone cold killer. He's going after innocent kids that had nothing to do with nothing that's going on. and he killed 2 of them and injured a bunch of others. Whichever way you put it, this is messed up.
It really doesn't matter. The horrific incident happened. Children are dead. 17 others were, shot. And that's just one part of a series of tragic homicides in the city of Minneapolis in just 24 hours or less. There were 5 people killed, 4 different shootings. A mass shooting just less than 20 hours before this, 2 miles away from this.
Mark says your right to have a gun, that's what it is. It will never stop as long as you have this right. Now, I agree with you, Mark. I agree with you on that. And I don't disagree that you should be allowed to have a gun. Honestly. I don't. If there was no guns, then there's no guns for everybody. Get that. But some people is going to still find a way. So I'd rather you have a gun and I have a gun. Let the best man shoot.
Elementary school out in front of a high school. And,
I do not
we can do so much better as residents of Minneapolis, the public. Everybody wants to help. Some people don't know quite how to help, but just be supportive.
The age of this person is something that comes into question for me. 21, 23 years old. And I'm just wondering, can the parents be held accountable for anything that happened here? Or is the age, since this person was over the age of 18, can they not be held accountable?
No, I think, again, the facts will come out through the intense investigation by federal, state, local law enforcement. But it appears from what the Minneapolis police chief said that the guns were purchased illegally, not through a straw buyer, not something like that. But they're going to look at all those things. The fact of the matter is this suspect, if he was age 22, 23, is a legal adult here in Minnesota.
Transgender. I don't know if to say male or female, so I'm just going to say a transgender. This is our suspect. Killed 2 kids. Let me know y'all thoughts, man. Let me know y'all thoughts.
In this country. And, it's just tragic how this came to this. I'm sure they're going to find mental health issues. They're going to find, patterns of behavior that weren't quite right. The question is, who did what when they learned about it? Who did they talk to? Who did they report it to? I saw, like many of you, his manifesto posted online yesterday afternoon. You watch that, 11 minutes of it like I saw, and you'll go, something is definitely wrong here. We can do so much better.
And to that point, Rich, Melania Trump speaking out following yesterday's horrific event, saying there needs to be some kind of preemptive intervention. And she's referring in large part to the mental health aspect of this. I'd like to focus on the law enforcement. I was listening to Trace Gallagher's show, and he had an individual, Aaron Cohen, on saying he's starting a program that basically has AI scouring the web for any possible warning signs. Would that help find and stop a potential killer like this well before they even...
I don't care what AI got to say about this, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. I want to know what his motive was, but I can't even know that now because he killed himself. And this is honestly, this is evil. This is evil. Like, AI don't got to tell me that this guy is evil. I don't need to know that.
Think about doing something as horrific as this.
Crazy, bro.
Well, law enforcement will tell you, the FBI will tell you that mental illness is a factor in many of these people who act out like this, and it's not the first time. This suspected shooter was not shy about using social media. As you know, he posted this and timed it so that it would be released after the shooting happened, and maybe his death. I'm sure they're going to find a long trail of information about him and his motives. And
how down bad do you have to be to start off your day going to a school saying I'm gonna shoot through the glass? Three different guns. How down bad do you have to be to do that? And then for the final hurrah, you do this. You shoot yourself in that. How down bad do you, how demon filled do you have to be? Y'all let me know, cause if I said, oh, this is just mental illness, ha 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 ha, you should have had help. That's just not enough. That's not enough. But y'all let me know.
again, why didn't somebody intervene? Why didn't somebody say something? We always find out afterwards. We do it kind of autopsy without blame, going back to an investigation to figure out why it happened, how it happened, who knew, and what can we do to do better, lessons learned. But it doesn't change the fact that these 2 young kids are dead, 17 others wounded. This community is in mourning. I was born and raised in this community. I spent 40 years as a police officer in the city of Minneapolis and Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. My colleagues who were at the scene, again, horrific and ghastly. No easy way to describe it.
And you, like Ashley said, we pray for the families, but you know, to this point about AI, there have to be some breadcrumbs that AI can work with law enforcement to find.
We've got technology.
His name is Robert. He changed his mom, changed by his mom to Robin. So it was a guy. Okay. Because it looked like a guy to me. I just didn't want to say it because, you know, I don't want to offend nobody out there. But it looked like a guy to me too. He changed his name to Robin. Still looked like Robert. He attacked a religious institution. Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you, brother.
Technology coming out of our ears with everything else. I don't know why we can't do it with that.
Rich Stanek, thanks for your time.
You know, the technology is one part, folks, but you've also got to have in place something to do with it, something to react
there has to
to what you
people
find.
Have to be
that's the problem. It's an expensive proposition.
It is.
Well, we're wasting millions of dollars whenever they're needing, you know, for all these politicians who need all of this money for their elections and their campaigns. If we can garner up hundreds of millions of dollars for campaigns, for politicians, we can get money to get armed guards and to get what we need to protect these kids.
It's all that matters. Rich Stanek.
Listen here, and let me know y'all thoughts about this. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. This was sad. I'll be honest with you. Obviously my thoughts is I gotta pray for the families. I hope that y'all find some type of peace, some type of understanding, some type of just comfort, because nobody wants to see this happen. Like nobody wants to lose a kid, bro. Nobody wants to lose a kid. So my condolences to y'all, first of all. Second of all, we got to stop with this bad behavior where we shooting up schools like this is a normal thing. We can't be doing this. Like, we cannot be doing this, y'all. All y'all pink heads, all y'all redheads. I'm not characterizing. I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm just saying, all of y'all that say y'all got anxiety and need depression pills and all this, y'all gotta stop doing this shooting up schools. Y'all gotta stop doing it. This is not the first time. We've seen it multiple times. We just gonna talk about it now. Y'all gotta stop with this. Whether you like me to tell you the truth or not, I'm going to tell you, we're going to tell you to stop with it. Stop it. Stop it. I highly suggest you watch Trigger. Who's Trigger? This is what happens when guns are introduced. Who's Trigger? Who's Trigger, Gaby? Or Gabby? A prayer with a picture of Jesus with a half Draco. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? At least y'all let me know y'all thoughts down below, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership, man. I appreciate y'all viewership. Hit that like button for your boy, man. We gonna move on to the next subject, bro. we gonna move on to the next subject, man. And this one is, we're gonna take it. Where we gonna take it? Where are we gonna take it? Gaby says South Korean drama about guns in countries they didn't have them. So I'm guessing there's less violence over there when it comes to guns in South Korea. I mean, I understand not having guns, but it gotta be for everybody. It gotta be for everybody. But if everybody is still getting the chance to get guns, if certain people still getting the chance to get guns, then, you know, might as well give it to people that able to. And these guns were bought legally, so I guess if they get into the wrong hands, say goodbye, coach. Regardless, I guess if they get into the wrong hands, man, that's sad. It's sad, honestly. All right, so I wanted to talk about this, man. The migrant crisis in London. Okay, London is dealing with migrant crisis, just like we had in the
hotel in Islington, where
it's pretty wild. Our crisis is a little bit, it's actually controlled, in my opinion. It's from compared to what last year was. Last year was crazy. But yo, London beef. Yeah. London is going crazy right now. London is going crazy. I thought the United States was going crazy last year. But nah, London got it. London might have it. Let's tune into the video, man, and see what's going on out here in these streets.
You're embarrassing yourself. I'm embarrassing myself. You're a fascist, baby.
What's happening here?
These people are left-wing extremists.
How do you feel about the hotel?
They need to go back where they come from. It's as simple as that.
These people are not enjoying it. They don't come here because they think they're going to have a good time.
Frightened to go out because they just don't know who's walking amongst us.
They believe that obviously sex with 13-year-olds and getting married at 9 is part of what they are, where they come from. That's not acceptable in the UK.
Since protests began at the Bell Hotel in Epping, demonstrations have now spread across the country against migrant hotels. In this video, we head to 2 protests outside hotels in London. The first is the Barbican Thistle Hotel in Islington, where 41 migrants staying there have been charged with more than 90 criminal offences.
That's a fact.
Across the country, locals have had enough, and now they're starting to say no.
That's a fact.
Join me.
You're still gonna have to defend yourself somewhat.
Alright guys, we just arrived at the Thistle Barbican Hotel, where a lot of protesters have come out for and against the hotel. Here we see some crowd here. Got police. Don't know what's happened so far, but you got people masked up. A lot of people in face coverings. So, you know, when people are wearing face coverings, that doesn't mean a good thing. Yeah, here we go, guys. Everyone's screaming, yelling. All this lady here swearing at us. Okay. Brother here. So guys, you see the crowd behind me, quite a lot of people here at the minute.
It's getting bad.
It goes all the way down here.
So I have been
from
told
London?
so far, the protesters in the middle with the face coverings aren't actually meant to be there. There have been conditions put in place for the protest. They're actually meant to be with the Stand Up to Racism lot, but they've decided to be in the street. So I'm guessing the reason why they don't want they're linking arms is because the police will eventually try to arrest them for breaching it. So guys, you do have people actually living in the hotel just up above. Yeah, this is around a 420-room hotel. So if you bear in mind the 1,000 that have just come in the past couple of weeks or so, that would fill this hotel up twice. And that's where they're living, costing the taxpayer over £10 million a day. You see the drums, everyone banging on.
I remember when this was happening in New York, and they were protesting in New York about this. I remember when it was happening in Boston, and in New Hampshire, California, and Denver. Now I'm not seeing it from London's perspective. They having the same problem that the United States is saying they having.
They're drums here, as you can see. Let me just show you the signs here. We got refugees welcome, stop the far right. So all the signs you saw in.
How do you feel about this mama bear? How do you feel?
But yeah, let me give you a better look of this hotel just here.
Eric
Down
says
this
real
alleyway
men don't
here
hide their faces.
is where I think it's the Sun reported there were e-bites here, delivery bites as well, Uber Eats. So food delivery people were working out of here illegally.
You're asylum seekers in the hotel. Could you tell me why you're working?
So these guys here, they were guests in the hotel. They were scared to pass me because they're working illegally, doing Just Eats and Deliveroo.
Just recently, the first migrant, a man named Abdullah, was convicted for working illegally.
Literally the same exact thing is happening in London that was happening years ago, or over the past 4 years in the United States. Dudes was coming over to the United States. They still doing it pretty much. I mean, they still here. Some of them are getting deported right now, but you know, they were here doing DoorDash under other people's names, under the radar, getting paid cash, and they was chilling. They was literally chilling.
Deliveroo. In most countries, this would mean deportation, a re-entry ban, or even prison. But in the UK, he was fined just £26.
Why should we be more welcoming to refugees?
We don't know what they've come from, or like, you know, they might be fleeing something really horrific. You should just greet that with kindness, I think. Yeah.
One concern I've heard today is that 91 crimes were committed by 42 of the people living here. Do you believe there's almost a safeguarding issue in the area regarding this hotel?
I don't know about that. Like, if there's bad people in any group, I mean, obviously not every refugee is going to be perfect, but we should never like generalize at all for a whole group. Over there, they're chanting, you know, like we want to keep our children safe. That's a lie.
C1A says, from England, I'm English. My family lived here since 1100 AD. Okay, I'm Christian. I'm a father. And I believe that the way forward is to raise the colors and stop the boats.
If you want to keep children safe, then come join us.
But obviously, when crimes are committed, though, like, do they have a reason to worry about those stats? Like, obviously, crime can happen anywhere by anyone, but it's almost like this feeling it's an imported crime, as some people say.
Again, I think that's just such a lie. Like, imported crime, what even is that? They're trying to divide us. They're trying to say, like, oh, hate this group over here. You know, like, don't express solidarity with other human beings. Divide and conquer. But
I don't believe it's hate. I believe they're trying to not protect their country, but control their country. And I understand that. Being in the United States, I was born here. I understand what it feels like to want to protect the country. Not saying that, you know, what they're doing is all right, but I understand what their concept is. Now, how they may be going about it is, you know, where a lot of people have a difference of opinion, but protecting the country, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
We should be hating. The only group we should hate is the rich.
There's been a lot of talk, obviously, people say billionaires should be taxed more.
It absolutely is a culture thing, not a race thing for sure.
But do you believe taxpayers' money should be going on this hotel?
I think that it's perfectly reasonable for taxpayers' money to be spent housing asylum seekers. It's their right to come here. It's their right under international law. I think the problem when it comes to tax, if you want to look at taxpayers' money, if you want to look at tax in general,
y'all got refugees out there from El Salvador too. Y'all about to use the same phrase. We sending them back to their prison. They coming from mental institutions. Cause that's what Trump used. I'll be honest with you. That's what
we're the biggest tax cheats in this country. They're the billionaires. Where's most of the money going? It's to the billionaires. Every time we're working, we're having our labour essentially paying their bills. We're seeing a mass redistribution of wealth in this country. Not towards these people in this migrant centre, this hotel. We're seeing it go up. We're seeing wealth inequality go up and up and up, further and further. We're getting
just chilling, bro. A lot of them just be chilling, sitting, doing nothing all day. Y'all should be on the streets helping us keep these streets clean, man. We don't want to see no robberies. We don't want to see no drugs being sold on the streets. We don't want to see no homelessness. We want our streets cleaned up, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. All right? It's not about trying to arrest this person. It's not about racism. It's not about this and that. No. We want our clean streets. That's it. Who don't want clean streets? Stop acting like this is a issue that you not getting. Why do we have to explain it? Like, it's common sense.
More and more billionaires every single year. That's the problem. I'm not too concerned about tax money being spent in a fairly limited way on migrant hotels. I'm perfectly fine with that because it's our duty, I think, in my mind, to look after those that have been, in many cases, are fleeing countries that various imperialist wars that we've been involved in have helped to destroy.
Say if the rich did put their money, use taxes efficiently, would you still agree with this, putting them in this hotel? Because one argument the other side will argue is that the homeless are left on the street and they don't get a hotel.
I don't think that hotels are the right place for refugees. I think that ideally they would be integrated into our communities. And we would...
To let you know, I don't know if you're aware, this won't filming. He's from the other side and he films us on all our demos and he'll also try and wind you up.
It's okay. It's been pretty fair.
Let me know.
I haven't taken the piss out of him, trust me. I've been pretty fair. Yeah, what was I doing in Epping? Talking to people. You said the hotels aren't the best place. So, where would you recommend they go?
So ideally we would integrate into communities. People, looking at past massive refugee crises, what we've seen is people get housed in our communities, in homes, in places where they can set down roots and like actually join properly. Hotels are divided.
Yeah, we got it good in America, man. Like, I'll be honest, we got it good. All right, y'all probably have it good over here in London too. If y'all are citizens and whatever the case may be, y'all economy is probably good. You know what I mean? Y'all are not the poorest of the poorest. Poor countries want to be where you guys are. Poor countries want to be United States. Poor countries want to be the UK. Poor countries want to be Russia, because it's nice. It's not bad. Honestly, it's not bad. But you got to do it the right way, man. You can't just be coming in here, taking advantage of what we got going on. And, like, you got to do it the right way. You got to do it the right way. People have to do it the right way. That's the main point. Don't come in here trying to abuse stuff and sneak your way through the system and then expect people to try to come and save you. No, that's not how it's gonna be. We can't do that. Nobody, no country, not even your own country does that. So stop making our country try to do that.
It's divisive for them as well. Like, imagine if you were living in our hotel for 6 months or a year. We go there on holiday, sure, but for long term, that's not a place to be.
In my opinion, the way we could solve this is if we actually give refugees, migrants, asylum seekers more rights when they come into this country, the right to work, the right to join a trade union, the right to actually be represented in some way. Instead, we're stuffing them into migrant centres in completely awful conditions. They're being paid something like £40 a week, which if you're in London, you can't really live on that. I don't think that's the right way to go about dealing with asylum seekers, essentially treating them as criminals and sticking them in a backlog that's growing and growing. There's no end in sight, and they're on these waiting queues. It upsets people, but the conditions inside these places are no good either. These people are not enjoying it. They don't come here because they think they're going to have a good time. They're coming here because, in many cases, they're extremely desperate. And I think the way that we're treating them is completely wrong. And I think the way that we deal with the asylum system in this country is completely wrong. I think there's better ways of doing it.
Alright guys, as you can see behind me, you've got the stand-up to racing cars banging on their drums. They've been going at it for...
It's not like they're getting no benefits. They're not getting... They're sleeping on the couch. He's saying that they're mad about how the way they're treating them. They're getting treated better than some of the some of the London citizens. That's why they're mad. The London citizens never got put up in a hotel, never got fed from the government. That's why they're mad.
Some hours now, just over here, you have the pre-made signs as usual, but in the middle, you still have this, I don't know what they call a black bloc. They're kind of against the police or something. They're like anarchists, they're known as. And it's very interesting who the police are paying more attention to. A lot of officers on this side, a lot on this side too. And then just behind me over there are the more patriotic people who are against the hotel just down here. So guys, see the signs, smash past them, open the borders, more signs here. What's going on? So you uncovered this hotel. You found that, was it the illegal riders were working here?
Yeah, so this is a GB News and a police investigation. It was started in July. A number of police, 20 or so with Stabfest, came to this hotel around July 3rd, July 4th, and they approached at least 10 men who had Deliveroo bikes with them. So it did seem that this hotel was a hotspot for illegal delivery riding activity. When I came back here on Monday just to check this out, because I knew the protest was going to be happening here today, I did see just on the corner over there a delivery bike right opposite from the hotel. So the police may have cracked down, but it seems that illegal work activity may still be continuing.
So by illegal rider, you mean their profile doesn't match who turns up at the door? Could that be the case? Or?
That would definitely be the case, yeah. Anyone who does not have the right to work, obviously asylum seekers do not have the right to work in this country, which is something that the left have been arguing actually perhaps we should change, because therefore they won't be a burden on the taxpayer if they're allowed to work. But actually, they're still going to be here causing trouble, causing crime, sexual assaulting, as we've seen in Epping, seen across the country. It does not solve the core issue that people actually complain about.
So guys, that was Jack, who's actually been to the migrant hotel here in Islington. He's seen it on the ground, and he's seen how the Barbican Thistle has been used as a Uber Eats hotspot. We have this guy absolutely shaking his hands, taking pictures of me. But we have this group here who are called Black Bloc, and so far been quite aggressive to the police, I've seen.
They was getting paid.
The police are just waiting for one-line officers, and then another bunch just behind them, a mix of males and females. You hear the sign, hear what they're chanting, stand up, fight back. So yeah, maybe they're up for a fight, who knows? Let's see. Just across from the hotel is this little residential area where the protest is for the more patriotic side, I guess maybe locals too. You've got the local CAF, so I'm guessing the people here would see it firsthand what's going on in their communities. This is where over 90 crimes have been committed by people in this hotel. In 2024 alone, the police was called here over 150 times. And that's why people are out here today. What's your reason for coming to today's protest?
I've come here to support the community in making their voices heard against the Barbican Thistle Hotel.
Yeah. What do you say to those who say that migrants living in the hotel aren't the enemy?
Well, they're probably right. They're not the enemy. but they still shouldn't be here in the hotels. This is the whole problem. It's not about any type of warfare against us, against them or whatever. They've come here illegally, so they need to go back where they come from. It's as simple as that. When people start saying they're an enemy of ours, well, some of them might generally be enemy combatants, but that's not why the people are here there. They're here because there's a migrant hotel over there, across the road from their community, who are holding young, undocumented men, and they want them gone.
I'm here for my children, the grandchildren's future. That's exactly why I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, like this little girl's sign here. And just a minute ago, the migrants behind you at the window, sticking their middle fingers up to the little girl.
Women
It's
and
disgusting.
children
That shows
also over
what
in
they
London.
think of children.
Why do you think these crimes are getting committed? Is it a culture issue? Do they generally hate the British people?
No, it's built into them, innit? From a young age. It's in their mindset. It's their culture. They don't have our values, do they? Totally different. No respect for kids or women. You can clearly see that. I've just seen it with my own eyes from behind you.
So is the issue more the crime rather than the money being spent on the hotels?
Both. It is clear. It's both.
Yeah, but what's the reason they're doing it? What's the reason? To destroy the country. You know, you've got normal people just coming out for the safety of their kids, and like, you're getting abused, getting called fascist, racist, Nazis, for what? You know? And wear mirrored sunglasses, everyone. It stops the face recognition.
There you go.
And purely just even this, what we can see. Now there's a section 14 in place, which means you have to be behind the barrier, which we're clearly are doing, observing. They're in the road, so it just seems unfair, unbalanced.
I mean, yeah.
They've all got masks on.
Yeah.
They've done again what they've done at Epping, the same shit again. Marched them right in front of us.
Me and my wife are up here to support the local people.
This is one
We're
thing
having to
that
put
I
up with a hotel
England,
full of
they got
fighting-aged,
their flags out.
illegal immigrant men, and
No
it can't go on. The
Was-
government have got to understand.
Was Epping the start, do you think? Is it because of all that what happened in Epping that has kind of escalated
I think it started a long way before that. I think it started at Southport. I think people woke up and smelled the coffee at Southport. I think people have just been raging ever since. The unfairness of it. The likes of Lucy Connolly being put in prison, Peter Lynch dying in prison for just carrying a placard, and it's just appalling. And something needs to be done.
But what has been done since Southport?
Nothing's been done. I'm starting to think but it's all been agreed. I think there'll be even more asylum seekers turning up over the next few years.
Well, it's over 25,000 just this year. Looks like we are on for another record year. They say they stopped the boat, so there's one-for-one policy. I mean, what's going to happen? What's the future?
There's no future. I worry about my granddaughters. I've got 2 granddaughters. I mean, they're going to have children eventually. We can't go on like this. It's unfair. It's not right. Of all our communities being targeted like this, it's terrible.
So, guys, some guy was just waving at a Syrian flag just outside his window, and maybe he was giving the finger or something, antagonising this lot here, and everyone's swearing at him, saying, "Go back home." Obviously, that is a quote that I'm saying. But yeah, these windows are all open. You see it on the other side as well. A lot of the locals are here today, different parts of London, but majority are locals from this area. There's another one. So yeah, you know, people who are living in here are almost like villainized now for being here. You hear what the kind of opinions people feel about those in the hotel, and everyone shouting, "Go home" is the chance.
Yeah, I'll just live round the corner. What would you like to know?
Well, it's good to hear from locals. What have you seen firsthand from this
It's
hotel?
good to hear both
From the
sides,
hotel,
man. It's
first
really good
hand,
to hear
been
both
approached
sides.
myself at the back of these shops by a man asking for money, and then sexual innuendos. They're in our park, which is here. A young girl who is the niece of one of my colleagues has been said, I mean, I'm not going to swear on camera, but that he'd like to FUCK her, and she's 13. And it's just generally, they've been in there 4 years, which wasn't a problem. November 2021, there was never a problem. They integrated. They were a different breed then. Now these people that are coming in, that are committing these crimes and making it bad for the ones there that are possibly wanting to integrate with us and the genuine refugees. But what we've got there now is not acceptable, and we've just been told that there's one person gone in there that's committed sexual offence against a minor, which has now been put in there. And obviously with the children, I've got children, I've got grandchildren, I'm not happy. I've never felt so unsafe.
Right, you said in 2021 it was okay.
You see that? They just said that somebody in there is literally literally just grape somebody.
What we've got there now is not acceptable, and we've just been told that there's one person
they
got in
just
there
still
that's
in
committed sexual offence against a minor, which has now been put in there. And obviously with the children, I've got children, I've got grandchildren. I'm not happy. I've
Same
never
thing.
felt so unsafe.
Same
So
thing
in
happened in
2021
America,
it was okay.
bro.
Why
You
has that
cannot
mix
make
changed?
this
Why
stuff
has it
up.
gotten worse?
Because there was 300 people.
This is sad
in there,
that
there's now 598.
it's actually
Up till,
happening.
I believe 6 months ago there was 700 people. There was 2 per
You
room.
would think, like,
obviously
you
2
coming into a
testosterone
country,
men
you
in a room
wanna
who don't
be
know
on
each
your
other,
best
who are in each other's
behavior.
pockets
You
24 hours a
getting
day.
into no
It's not
trouble,
going to be
you
a good
chilling,
mix.
you
So I
doing
believe
what you gotta
because there's
do.
598, but not
You
enough
making
bedrooms
this
to
place a
accommodate,
better
and
place
obviously
too.
they've
You
got
know what I
nothing to do.
mean?
It's not as if they've got
You adapting to the
recreation brands.
culture.
Come out, be
You
in our
bringing
area,
your
not a
own
problem.
culture
But if
into
I've
it as
committed any
well.
of these
Like
offences,
you
like
trying
throwing
to
out
be
stuff,
smooth
then I
with it.
would be penalised.
But
So is your
these
argument,
guys
you know,
ain't
if you
smooth
increase
with
the
it.
numbers, you're increasing the chance of crime
They're not,
happening,
they're
just
not.
by
By
statistics.
domination, yeah, by domination. But
can't
equally
be
as well,
just
out of
out here
598 men, if one person
touching
commits a
little
sexual
girls
assault,
as
that's
you
one person too
in a
many.
whole different country.
In my
You
opinion.
probably don't
And I
speak
don't care
their
where you come from,
language.
what nationality, what creed you are, what
That's
race you are.
crazy.
You sexually assault somebody, it's incorrect, but they're not being dealt with correctly. They're back in there after they've committed the offences.
So today is about protecting the community.
100%, and I can tell you, you know, around here, I've got people that live in my block. We've got tower blocks all around here. I'm a part of the Tenants and Residents Association, and as I said, 4 years ago, we
living
never
on
had a
top of
problem. Now we've got
convenience
people
stores
coming
and-
to our meetings monthly
They living
saying that
in
this has
luxury.
happened, that's happened. They're drinking, they're sleeping in the park, they're taking drugs in the park, they're actually doing human excrement in the park. This is why people are scared to come here. It's never been like this. 38 years, my husband was born and bred round here. 60 years, was born in that block there. Never had it, and it's not acceptable.
You said there is a mix who are potentially good. So, like, is your argument that the hotel should be closed because one is bad?
Shame on you, black.
Yes,
Hold
closed
on,
if they
hold
can't
on.
monitor it.
Mr. Fantastic says, "Shame on you, black men. You don't understand their plot, their plight. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is disgusting behavior. What are you talking about? Are you black? Mr. Fantastic, are you black? What does me being black have to do with anything? What is me being black? And this white woman saying somebody raped a young woman. What does that have to do with anything? Whether you're black, you're Hispanic, you're white, Puerto Rican, you're Asian, it's evil. It's bad behavior. It's bad parenting, the way you were raised. You got yourself into bad situations and groups. What does me being black have to do with bad behavior? Like, that doesn't mean that. I'm confused, Mr. Fantastic. They just want their streets to be clean. They don't want people being out there destroying their community. And it doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter. Or maybe it's just me. Y'all let me know.
Because we've got undocumented men that are migrants that are actually getting help from the local charities that are being helped into work. They come and do their washing. They come and eat out of the bakery. They're being part of our society. But these other men are not told what to do. They believe that obviously sex with 13-year-olds and getting married at 9 is part of what they are, where they come from. That's not acceptable in the UK. If you come to our country and you're given somewhere to stay and you're given the money,
he's saying
and
blacks are
everything
more
else,
aggressive.
you need to abide by our rules. I have to. There's no reason they should be any different.
Wow, guys, a very powerful conversation with a local lady from the area. She goes to the community meetings,
I'm a teddy bear.
and they're just saying in general there's a rise in these sexual assaults from people who think it's okay to, you know, marry 13-year-olds and be attracted to that kind of age group. But yeah, it is picking up now, guys. It's picking up a bit. You have people
Can't
on
win.
this side now making their voices heard, and you still have the two counter-protests either side. They're still blocking the road. Nothing is getting done by the police. Might head over there in just a second.
Not even destroying the
in general,
country,
guys,
destroying the
locals here
community,
don't
bro.
want a group of
I want to go to the grocery
undocumented
store without
men
having to
in
be
their
mugged
streets,
or
very
anything,
close to
too,
local
bro. Like,
facilities
serious.
where they're not integrated.
You're joking.
That is the
You're
main
joking,
issue.
right? You're joking.
Alright guys, so I've come over to this side and it seems like now people are saying Palestine will be free. That is the message from this crowd over here.
I don't get it.
Yeah, just check it out guys. The amount of people here, hundreds at least. So you have two groups.
I don't
You
get
have Stand Up to Racism, Stop the Far Right, then you have these lovely people here. Do you want to say a few words guys? No? No? How do you feel about the hotel? Why are you so aggressive? Why are you covering your face? So guys, as you can see guys, these are all the, I don't know what they are, they're group covering their faces.
Open the borders.
We have some ladies trying
Open
to
the
stick
borders,
some
they're saying.
Palestine stickers on us. Let's chuck that on the floor.
Where's your Tommy gone? Where's your Tommy gone?
Go away,
Where's
don't come
your
in my
Tommy
space.
gone?
Don't get my space. Don't come near me, don't come near me.
Far away.
Go away.
Where's your Tommy gun?
Where's your Tommy gone? Where's your
You're embarrassing yourself. You're literally
I'm embarrassing myself. You're a fascist, baby.
How do you know?
This side is crazy.
I've seen you in all the little protests.
This guy's
little camera trying to be
This
on
is
YouTube.
why I say you should have the right to bear arms, just in case
Very unique looking.
it comes down to best shooter gonna shoot.
Protest, sticking your camera in people's
But I don't condone no
I'm
violence.
just here to document. You're here too. So you're a fascist by being here. You're a fascist by being here.
It turns out this creature is Kay Irvine, a sales director.
Absolutely, I'm an immigrant.
According to reports online,
What does
she's
that
now
have to
been
do with
suspended after what
even
she's
in
seen
my
doing
hold
later
on,
in the video.
Hold on. Let me address Mr. Fantastic here, because I am an immigrant. I live in America. I'm an American citizen. So I should be able to speak about this, correct? I should be able to speak about this, correct? My parents are originally from Barbados, came to America, got their citizenship, stayed in America, had me. I'm a citizen. I should be able to speak about this, Mr. Fantastic. I do not want immigrants like my family coming into Barbados, say they came into Barbados, which is my home country, if you want to say that. I don't want them coming into Barbados, being put up in hotels, eating French toast and chicken nuggets for lunch, while I'm out here struggling to pay bills for my family, paying taxes to the same country. Might be a lot littler, but the same country, and you're out here living better than I am, while you are also committing crimes. I'll just be honest. You might not like me saying it, but I wouldn't want you to be there either. It doesn't matter if you're black or you're white or you're Asian or you're Hispanic. Those are the rules of the country. Those are the rules in the country.
Well, we just have general crackheads here like this one and hasn't had a bath in about
I can't
7
come in
days,
your
so
country to
we
do
don't
it.
blame her.
Don't come in my country and do
That's
it.
what happened.
Is that a bad mentality? So technically, I have more rights than you. We got the same rights, brother. We got the same rights. It don't matter if I'm black or you white. We got the same rights. It might have not been like that years ago, but it's 2025. Shoot.
who aren't benefiting the country. They're rather singing in the streets. They're rather singing in the streets. They have nothing to offer. And this is what we have here. This is what we have here.
Suck your racist mum!
Unhinged women. This is unhinged women.
To actually debate. I don't debate Nazi fascists, baby.
So guys, we're not very far from the riots who are coming in. Just here we have more officers who are entering the area. But we got some people just kicking off. We got this absolute nutcase here. So it's all starting here in North London. Who just shouts racist, racist. That's all they can say.
Anti-fascist protest, right?
Very Asian. It's very Asian. The host is Asian.
Here's a report. Film sucks like you making an ass of themselves. That's what I'm here.
Suck your racist mum, yeah?
All right.
And make sure you get right on that. She loves it.
Alright guys, so every now and then more and more police will come over to this
Yo,
side.
the disrespect is crazy too. Like,
still linking arms.
y'all can't even explain yourselves without being so trashy behavior. Like at least explain it to me in a way that you want me to understand. Like, no, we shouldn't be doing it this way because so and so they really need the help. Like they're struggling back where they're from. Blah 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 blah. Like we'll do anything. Just let's try to make this happen. Type of thing. You get me? Like let's make this happen. But no, they out here like suck your mother. Tommy guns. They deserve better for you. You're racist. Right? Oh no, I'm just trying to say no. Like I'm just trying to. You're racist. You got it, bro.
There have been a few arrests so far, but yeah,
if you can go just behind the traffic lights, so that's
you got it.
They're making sure that everyone's staying behind the police lines at the minute because they're gonna make more and more arrests very, very soon, I'd imagine.
You got it, bro.
How many arrests have you seen so far?
Everybody's racist. You got it. You win.
I think I've seen four. All of them were violent. Every
I'll just go back to where I'm from.
There was one guy that was just picked up and they were moving him around like a rag doll. I could see like his shirt was being lifted, clothes were coming off, like outer clothes, like jackets and jumpers and things. And yeah, they were just carted off right behind the police vans, never to be seen again.
But you see their sign stands for racism, you'd imagine this would be the peaceful side. You wouldn't expect any arrests, would you?
Well, I mean, there was that woman that came up to you and then she actually told me to go and suck my racist mum. I think we have some movement at the moment.
See?
See? But yeah, I mean, I've never had anyone say anything like that to me at one of the Patriot protests, so it kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Very telling, very telling. So yeah, guys, yeah, there are counter-protests. Well, there is a protest just down the road, which we saw earlier, who were the Patriots and a few locals who are against the hotel. But the attention has turned to the guys in masks. There are a lot of bystanders on the side of the street.
Yes, we are live, Mr. Fantastic.
People in their balconies, but in general, all eyes on this
Thanks
group
for
over
tuning
here. We don't know what their plans are, what they're capable of. An unknown
Thanks for
entity
tuning in.
with their masks on and locking arms. Well, guys, we do have one arrest here.
Oh,
We got a
man.
lady. Some ladies yelling.
It's okay, man. We wish you the best, Mr. Fantastic. We really do, honestly. There's nothing. I don't have no problem with you. I'm just letting you know how I feel about the situation. You still haven't told me how you feel about the situation. You just told me I'm shame on me, black man.
That's what happened, guys.
That's all you said to me.
Find out. But yeah, they're not allowed to be in this space, I've been told. The protest area is actually to the right, just behind that barrier. So obviously you're local, you're not part of the protest. What is the general feeling in the area about this hotel?
I have to admit, man, people ain't happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially
I've
when
been
you
to
see
school.
those videos,
I
they got
graduated. Thank you.
bikes parked
Very
up and that.
educated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, especially, I mean, the block I live in, like, most people are plumbing don't even fucking work. I haven't had a bath in my flat for nearly 2 years. I
We
have
all
to go to my
graduated.
son's house to have a shower.
Yeah.
You know, my neighbours
I'm
are
sure.
saying, you know what I mean? Like, and they're putting people in hotels and stuff. You know, what the hell's that about?
So it's almost this
sure.
feeling that it's unfair, right? There's locals who can't
Shout
afford
outs to
housing,
England.
can't even to have a shower, you said.
Shout outs to England, man.
It's not just about future our children, it's about future our legacy, innit? You know what I mean? You know, these people, this sort of people rewrite you out your own history, man. They'll come in, they'll cannibalise our architecture, and they'll write us out of our own fucking history, won't they? Do you know what I mean? There's no even like we can disappear into the night and be like, oh yeah, look at the history books, at least these guys were cool. No, we won't be remembered, mate. You know what I mean? Like, this is about a future of, not just our fucking future, mate. A fight for our very legacy.
Hi guys, so everything has been cleared, so all the sides now can kind of wander around, especially the press, so easy as. But yeah guys, we still have everyone on this side. You see the communist flag says it all guys, you don't really need to speak to half these people. Look at the mess that's left on the floor. But usually yelling, we got the people from Epping as well. So yeah guys, communist lot are all here.
Now that's how it looks in America, but just a lot more flags. There's a lot of flags, a lot more. So I'm wondering if it's as diverse in London as it is in America. Y'all let me know. Who are they protesting and why? So there's two different communities here protesting. There's the ones that are pro-immigration and pro-open borders. And then there's the ones that are protesting against the migrant hotels and immigration itself and closed borders. So they're both clashing in London right now. This side is clearly, you can guess which side this one is. I think we can guess.
Look at the state of you. Listen, got it on camera. She just pulled a Nazi salute. Yeah? Got it on camera. She just pulled a Nazi salute.
So guys, you tell me, would you like to be friends with these sort of people? I mean, look how aggressive they get. They'll be gone by 4 o'clock, by the hour. Some of them do have genuine concern. We did speak to some alright people in that crowd, but the ones with the megaphones yapping, you know, you can't take a word for what they say. But yeah, guys, you have here the Barbican Hotel, just here where they're housing the illegal migrants. You see their sign, Nazis, fuck off. Very interesting. Yeah, look at this hotel, guys. It's falling apart. Must be quite terrible conditions in there. That's the outside. So how long have you lived here?
45 years.
Right,
and that used to be a hotel. Soon as COVID come in, they've put 400 or 500 male migrants in that hotel.
Y'all are nuts.
Our local women and children. It's wrong. And then you've got all these lefties that are turning up and they don't even live here. These are all locals. None of us have got our faces covered. They have.
Says it all.
Shout out to Britain, man. Shout out to Britain. Shout out to London.
You mentioned men. Is that the issue that they
Shout
are
out to
all
all
men? Is
y'all,
that the
man.
main concern?
I have 2 nieces, and they are, whatever country they come from, I'm sorry, they shouldn't be here. Taxpayers are paying for them. Enough's enough.
I 100% agree, Skywatcher.
Well, I think it's over it's billions a year,
I'm not a fan of war either, and I'm not a fan of what's been going on over there in the Middle East as well.
Arseholes like that. I'm sorry.
You're probably new here, but yeah, I've talked about that a lot. How they're going about it, I don't agree with everything. But this is the best we got. That's the best we got. I think they're gonna. I think. I have to get on that a different day. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
They despise child rearing. They despise our politics, which is conservatism, and they despise Christianity. We stand when these monsters go for the police.
And you can tell what side this is. This is clearly the conservative side.
It'll be us helping the most vulnerable in society. Look at that flag. Look at that flag.
Okay.
Hey,
Wow.
Guys, you really don't have to look very far to see where the trouble is coming.
It's crazy, man.
It's very telling. I don't know what's going on here, but what's going on, mate? Anything?
They said Trump is coming, y'all. Just keep pushing against it.
But you have a lot of people in face coverings on this side. A lot of people. They're flying the communist flag, anti-British flag. How is that even compatible? Just there, we do have the Communist Party flag. We have a they them on the ground. They them is on the ground.
They need to stop the killing on all sides. Honestly.
And look at that, guys. They're waving to the asylum seekers. It doesn't matter how many crimes they commit. They will support them. They will be
killed a lot. They have killed a lot.
They bring over
We all
to
have
the
killed
UK.
a lot.
Here
Not
they are,
me,
guys.
but
Being escorted by the police.
both
And we have
sides.
that lady who was in Epping last week, the other week. Look at out the windows, guys. We just look here. All men. I cannot see one woman from this thing. No children. All just men. You'd expect, some women and children here, but all men. Hey, buddy. Where are you from? Where are you from? I'm just asking, where are you from? No.
chill.
Guys, a hotel full of single
said
men
half
in
Chinese.
this area. As you saw behind me, very
Half
close
Chinese,
to the
half
local
white.
community. I've spoken to some people. They've spoken about the
He's a
crimes
half
that have been
Chinese, half
committed.
white reporter.
Some of them are working for Uber Eats and Deliveroo,
hilarious.
and they
Shout outs
park
to
their bikes just in this little
him.
pathway down here. But as you saw, he's a man, another man. I cannot see any women.
Amen says we need Trump to help
Where's your
us.
family?
Hey, it look
Where's your
like Trump
family?
is coming. He's on his way.
No?
He's
Okay.
on his way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All men. Wow, guys.
That's
All men. I haven't
hilarious.
seen any women poke their heads out of these hotels. All men.
Oh my god.
So yeah, this is where apparently they're committing, over 90 crimes by 41 of the people living here. So everyone has committed 2, allegedly. I'm sure there's some that commit 3 or 4. You just don't
Ezra
know.
says Trump is literally falling
Insane.
apart from his mental health
In
and
East
stress of
London,
being
illegal
president.
migrants are moved
Same thing
overnight
happened to
into
Joe
the
Biden.
Britannia
Man.
Hotel in Canary Wharf.
Same exact
Just
play.
after the Home Office had officially
Hopefully
stated
next
it wouldn't be used as a
next
migrant
presidency
hotel.
is someone
Tourists who had
much
booked
younger,
rooms online
regardless.
were even
on
turned
both
away
sides.
at the door.
We need
A
it.
peaceful protest was then organised by local
Young
women and
but
children,
experienced.
all dressed in pink. We joined the protest later that day.
Good afternoon, guys. So it's the second day, Sunday, a day after the protest yesterday in Islington. Now we're in one of the most luxurious parts of London, Canary Wharf.
Islam
They're
is a
putting doctors and
fast-growing
engineers
religion.
onto the rich people's doorstep, and they're not too happy. So today we're going to go check
is
out the
a fast
protest
one.
and see what they have to say. I've just heard it, guys. I've heard something. Some sort of explosion was just in the distance. You've got the
Hopefully we
guests on the
elect
left
someone who's
here.
not a rapist. Amen to that too.
Wow, they've all turned up. So, what started as a peaceful protest, I've just arrived. Got flares here as well. Oh, out of breath.
We don't need Trump. British people stand
Ooh.
together.
So,
Facts.
guys, this is the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf, which is housing illegal migrants in this hotel. How you doing, mate?
This is another hotel that they're
So we
housing.
moved in overnight, and you can see everyone here
migrants,
dressed in their
and
pink.
they are protesting.
Well, because it was a women's protest at the beginning.
The
You see
women's
the
only at
signs here.
first. Oh.
We'll read that in a bit. But some guy's got his flares.
Doesn't look violent on this side, to be honest.
We do have some men in balaclavas.
A lot of people without face masks. They're
So
outside.
we got the
And,
lads here. All the boys are here. What's that also, mate?
and then you have, then you have over there.
Very, very noisy.
Then you have over there,
As you can
people
hear.
masked up.
So, yeah, so guys,
All
I've
black.
been told earlier it was very
Is-
peaceful. I was
this-
watching
there's
the
a-
live
there's a
stream.
trend here.
Obviously, AY Audits has been documenting all these protests. But look here, guys,
I hate
everyone
to
dressed
say
up
it,
in
but
pink.
there's a
Very,
trend.
very peaceful. But I think some guys have turned up in balaclavas, and that's where you see the flares.
It's not because they're not black. Don't even say that. Don't even say that.
Have you been here all this afternoon? Yeah. I mean, I was in Islington yesterday and everyone was wearing black, and today you're pink. So are you the far right mums? Who are you guys?
We ain't even far right, are we? We just want things to be right.
Yeah. And obviously it goes without saying, but the concern is about children in the area.
Absolutely, yeah. It is. Well, and us women.
Well, why do they do this at school holiday time? Right on the cusp. It's
What a time trying to be
There's
alive.
no women or children there, is it? It's just all young men. That's what I don't understand.
Facts,
Okay,
we
guys,
cannot.
so something's happening. Let's have a look. Let's keep an eye on the action. Some masked men have turned up. Let's see what is going on. Some guys in masks have turned up.
We don't need anyone under 40 as
Yeah, so kind
president,
of
in
sending
my
a message
opinion.
against the
Slapper
hotel.
says.
Obviously, people are very angry.
I
They
get you.
weren't told that
Like I
illegal
said,
migrants going to be
young,
brought into
but
this hotel.
I'm not
It
talking
was done
about like a
overnight.
21-year-old. I'm talking about
And
someone
now we have
that's
this police
experienced
presence
and clearly
what's about to
not
happen.
going to die within the
Okay,
next
something's
10
happening.
years.
We do have an arrest.
That's all I'm asking for.
Officer doing a stop and search.
I get it.
One of these
They
guys
have
are
a
getting
lot of
brought.
life experience.
What's happening here? What's going on here? 4 officers.
Oh, somebody getting
Buddy, we
arrested.
did not see this
What is
yesterday in
this?
Islington. He's been arrested. Wow. He's been pulled as well. We did not see this
All
yesterday,
right,
guys.
get out the way. Get her out the
Definitely
way.
do make an example.
Dude, get her out the way. No offense, but come on, get her out the way.
One guy's getting stopped and searched.
Y'all gotta get her out the
Wow,
way.
guys. The
She's not
definition of
helping.
two-tier policing,
In this
guys.
situation, she's not helping.
1, 2, 3. Oh, is that baby? Watch out, mate. Watch out.
Oh, shit.
Look at that. It's like a little baby in her hands. Wow. We did not see this in Islington. Be careful. Be careful. Wow. Wow. So we definitely did not see this yesterday in Islington. Very, very quick to get onto people. Wow. There was hundreds there yesterday, guys, and we did not see this.
This under control.
We didn't see any stop and searches actually in Islington yesterday.
Oh,
Now
this-
we're
they
seeing
stopping
4
and
in quick
searching?
succession here down in Canary Wharf. Wow.
They stopping and searching in London? What?
We still have the police presence over there, guys. I'm sorry, mate.
That's different.
We still have the police
That's
presence down there. Keeping the line. Bargy. Wow, so very quick to use the baton. Very quick to use the officer calling for calm.
They are stopping and searching it. That's crazy. Yeah, UK cops do seem really. It's a little different in the United States of America. They kind of like they're buffer, like they be in the gym. These guys right here, like, dog, this is your front line. With all due respect, with all due respect.
Daily Mail with boots on the ground, mate.
I'm looking at this guy right here, like, kill, bro. Come on, bro.
He was there.
Come on, bro.
Was you there as well? Was you there as well? Was you there as well?
I'll drop you so quick. Stop playing.
Not this quick. Not this quick.
Stop
You
playing.
never grabbed them.
No baton was
I see with my own eye.
Officer, no baton was pulled out yesterday.
Giving mall cop more than police officer.
No problem.
Wow, guys, you have kids here, families here.
That's just
you know.
weird.
Obviously, there are a couple of guys masked up, as you can see, but nothing in the scale that we saw yesterday in Islington. They have kept to the protest area, which is over there. They are blocking roads. You know, it's been very, very fair, I'd say. How's that?
I love your videos.
Cheers, man. What was this all about then?
Because people are peaceful protest, because they run away this way to come away because they let smoke bombs up, the police chase them and throw them against the wall.
Right.
For no reason. Two-tier policing.
They don't search and frisk like that. Not in protest.
Guys, let me just give you a better look of this
Not in
Britannia Hotel.
Massachusetts.
So
Not
just
in
a few days
Boston.
ago,
Not in
loads of staff
America.
was actually made redundant
I haven't
here
seen that
and
yet.
told that was going to be their final
That
day.
was new. That was different.
And then just literally the other night, around 1:30 in the morning, loads of illegal migrants were moved in
They
here.
gotta do.
still have
They gotta
security on the
mix
door.
their police officers
Obviously,
get in the
The
gym.
locals in Canary Wharf in this
I don't know if
luxurious
these
part
are
of London
like new
definitely
guys,
don't
but
want it here. And look at all the protests here today. They're calling for the safety of women and children.
all these dudes
You hear
is
the
like
chants,
140.
guys? Send them home. That is the message, guys. You know, these protests are building. Norwich, Newcastle, Liverpool, Waterlooville, all sorts of
Our
places around
cops
the
are
UK.
not killers
And
like
now
the
we're in
USA.
Canary Wharf, guys. Check it
Okay.
out.
That's good. That's good.
I saw earlier or online that the women got here earlier.
That's
What was
good.
the kind of point in that? It's you know, it's mostly women and children at the beginning.
Well, like most of the people are men in these hotels, we wonder why that is, but I think we all know. We are women and children because we're concerned about the younger generation in this country. We've got women and children that are frightened to go out in their own country that they've been brought up in the own area that they've been brought up in, frightened to go out because they just don't know who's walking amongst us.
We don't know where
We don't want our police officers to be killers either.
I'm all for
But
legals coming into the country.
we don't want them to be
countries that want
wimps as well.
safe harbour, yeah?
Yes.
However, these are not. Why is that? What's the agenda? What is the bigger picture? That's what I want to know, and that's what everyone wants to know. And we need to protect our women and children. And also,
It is chill.
What we do know is it's
It
been
is pretty chill.
documented that a lot of these that are here in these hotels.
Now, my question is, are they going to, does at night, do they start rioting too like America? Because America,
and we want the government to stand
they'll burn a
up
whole building
and listen
down.
to us for once, because this is not going away.
They
These
will burn a whole
demonstrations
building
are
down.
going to get bigger. They're going to get more frequent, and although this was a
will
peaceful
burn up
protest
police
today,
cars.
and that's what we intended to do, peaceful, we have had some people turn up that's really
All types
put
of
a damper
stuff,
on
started
it.
looting.
But we was here to make the government say
It's sad,
enough
honestly.
is enough.
As you can see behind me, you can see
I
the
remember when I
scale
went to
of
my
this
first
hotel. I think it's
protest.
over 450 rooms, and obviously you can imagine not all of them.
I remember when I went to my first protest, and it was a Black Lives Matter protest, and I'm thinking like the mindset of Black Lives Matters. Like, I'm black, I'm proud, and I'm here for the energy. Not on no racist type, Black Lives Matters only type of thing, but we matter. This was just after George Floyd had died, so I'm a young kid, not thinking nothing about nothing that's really going on behind the scenes type of thing. As soon as it turned dark out, it went crazy. They went wild. I don't know where these people came from. It's not just the Black Lives Matter group that was protesting there as well, but I don't know where this group of people came from, but they started breaking every window, every store, breaking into every store, start robbing and looting. Police cars setting on fire. They was throwing rocks and bricks, and I'm like, yo, what happened? What happened? I thought we was here for peace and just a march for unity, coming together. I was like, yo, I gotta get out of here, man. I will not attend another protest in my life. Thank you, but no thanks.
Are just single rooms. Someone's going to get the Queen's Suite,
Thank you,
the
but
King's
no
Suite,
thanks.
and be filling all of this part of Canary Wharf. They'll be on the doorsteps of very wealthy people that do live here, and all the stats are coming out on the crimes
This
that are
is not a
getting committed
protest, this is
by
a
people
Miley
that come
Cyrus
into these
concert.
hotels. Just yesterday, it was announced that Mohammed and Ahmed in Warwickshire sexually assaulted a 12-year-old girl.
No,
and when I say
bro.
sexually assaulted, it's the worst kind of
That was
assault that you
2020.
can imagine. Obviously, if I say it on YouTube,
That was
probably wouldn't allow
2020,
it.
bro.
But that's why so many people are coming
Massachusetts,
out
bro.
now.
The
to
next
protect
day, I
the women
remember
and
going
children.
back downtown.
And, it's not just men. It is a lot of women.
They was cleaning up the glass. The community
Sure that
was cleaning
people
up the
moved in here
glass.
were moved overnight,
Putting
almost
up,
around 1:30. I was
boards
told,
over the broken
people are
windows.
sleeping. They weren't told that
Yeah,
they were
they
going
do it intentionally because they think, that they're all asleep.
That was
no one's going
2020.
to notice, so that's why they do
BLM,
it.
Do you think these
Massachusetts.
protests are going to continue across summer?
Oh yeah, I don't think it will stop. There's another one in Epping again today, I think. As
This
well.
is
So it's just
nothing
literally
compared to
going
that.
Across the whole of the UK.
But this is how it looked
Hey, may I
like
see
when
a
it
sign
started.
taxpayer
Like people
say
was
no?
just
Are you a local resident
walking
in the area?
together. Thousands of people.
What's your kind of feeling about the hotel?
Yeah, I mean, obviously negative. You pay more
Why are you
taxes, you get less
traumatized?
safety, not great.
No, I'm not traumatized. I'm just
generally
like, I
not the
didn't.
best. So definitely
I wasn't there for none of that.
supporting here the local community.
I wasn't there for none of that. I was there for
stand up for ourselves and
I was
say
young.
what
I was
we genuinely think.
maybe like 22,
I mean, a lot of people
23.
don't know about the hotels in their area. It's almost,
Young.
you know, you hear about.
I didn't know about
Not
that
thinking
being a
like
thing
anything
until all
of
the
this,
news around the area.
what's
well,
going on
even
behind
around
the scenes
Epping area,
about
first of
politics,
all.
nothing like
And then
that.
when it started happening here, then of course, we all.
So how does it
So
make you feel
I'm
that you have
here-
to find out from locals that you're not really told by the local
Yeah, we doing this for
council or
unity.
local government?
Next
How does that
thing
make
you
you
know,
feel?
Yeah, no, of course, not happy
Rocks
about
go
it.
flying.
Hence why we're protesting.
People
Here's why
almost
we're
getting
here.
hit
We
by
make our
cars.
presence known.
Cars on
in a
fire.
peaceful way, and we stand again with the
Time
women
to go,
earlier
bro.
today, a couple of hours ago. The women's march was very powerful. It was great to see.
What's the general feeling in the area about this hotel?
Those
Have
wasn't
people
my
spoken
people.
out about it in your community?
Well, we do have like a group that is discussing about this match and stuff.
Those was
But
my people.
not a good feeling about it. I think.
And are you here on a visa?
Yeah, I'm on a work visa at the
My
moment.
people,
Can I just ask you, how much do you pay for your visa?
A lot.
my people look like me, talk like me, smell
2,000 to
like
3,000
me.
maybe?
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah, and you
Act like
pay
me.
for the NHS?
Yeah, of course.
So how do you feel that illegal
Sure.
migrants almost don't have to pay anything, and they might even get right to remain after 1 or 2 years?
Yeah. You tell me, man. It's not a good feeling, is it?
So guys, I've spoken to two people. One is a citizen who came from Latvia. The other seems from China. Obviously, he's paid thousands to come here on a visa, and the local community doesn't support it, he told me.
This was
He
smooth.
said that it's quite unfair that people living here almost get a free ride, you know, when people like him come here, pay thousands for a visa, which isn't spoken about. They pay thousands to the UK government, and where does that money go? Does it go to fund
Unities
these
and those
hotels for their
sweet new
food, their bedding?
Jordans.
Who knows? But this is very much an anti-hotel migrant protest at the minute.
Oh,
How did
man.
you find out about this
That was
hotel
funny.
just behind us?
Well, it's actually on one of the local pages, and it's terrible what they're doing. You know, we've got it's good and bad in everyone, but we just can't tally up the numbers, can we?
So
I'm
do you
glad
think people
that
are more
this,
against it because the stats have
I'm
come
glad
out
that
and
the
types of
UK
crimes
is
that are being
dealing with
committed?
this, man. And it's good
Well,
to see
the
their
crime show for
perspective
themselves,
too,
really,
man.
but
I'm from
for
America,
the safety of the people
so
in the area, and
you know,
yeah,
I like to see the different perspectives on how people deal with immigration in all reality.
If you look to my side, guys, not the police presence we saw yesterday, but still quite a bit. They're keeping an eye on it. So far, it has calmed down quite a lot. Tried to speak to a couple people about the hotel. But yeah, when you're here, guys, when you see it in person, you see these hotels and what they look like and the kind of standards they're living in. You kind of understand why people are frustrated that
people?
homeless do get left
I
out
said
on
they
the
look
street
like
here.
me. I mean,
Because, I mean, look
I'm-
at
I
this. It
just
would have cost
talking about
easily over
handsome,
£100 a night.
clean. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Like,
I don't know what's
chill.
happening here. Oh, they're shouting something.
You
But,
bringing up color.
yeah.
You
I
bringing
think
up
when the
color.
migrants want to come out, maybe he wants to have a little wander round. And you hear the Charles guys send them home, and as one of the migrants enters back into the hotel, maybe he's a doctor or an engineer.
We as British people have to stand together and stand and say what we're doing. Because it's the only way we're going to get this government to show that we care about our country.
What perspective?
Because they clearly do not. I'm going to say one thing.
What perspective they have on immigration?
Like I said, oh, they've got Nando's. Oh, beautiful Nando's. They've got Nando's, guys. You know, how much do they get per week? And they're scuffing their face with a Nando's card. We have half a chicken
Sleep.
has arrived at the hotel. Whilst homeless on the street, wanting food. We just saw a Nando's delivery. I'm sure sooner or later we'll have Uber Eats and Deliveroo parked outside of this hotel.
This is
So
much
doing a
calmer
speech
than
over
the
there.
United States.
What's the kind of main message
Much
for today?
calmer.
To show support for the women and kids who don't feel safe walking the streets, they don't feel safe with these unvetted and undocumented males. If they are getting prosecuted for these things they're doing, how do we know their true identity if they're coming with fake passports?
Yeah.
How do we know? We don't, and that's the problem within the country.
The stats speak for themselves. How do you feel about the level of crime that is coming out now? People aren't afraid to speak on it now, and they're saying
it's
that.
good that the British people are standing together, and these far left agitators who are coming saying refugees welcome here. These people aren't refugees. They're here to come here and make us feel scared. They want to take over Britain. That is their aim. If they didn't want to do that and they were scared for their lives and scared for their families, what they would do is put their women and kids on the boat, send them over, let them claim asylum, and when they're fleeing such war-torn countries, they would stay and fight and show that they're true men and show what they are.
But you know, people on the left will argue we should be like a welcoming country. Even if they are all men, why should we not welcome just all men?
Because then they're not welcome in this country. Before they've even landed in...
It's hard to see, Sweetie Pie says it's hard to see black people disassociate from their race because they believe others are better. I don't disassociate from my race. I just don't think about it all day. Like, that's not my mindset. And I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm really not sorry. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to think about race 24/7. I don't want to know if this person did me bad in the past or the history of that. And it's 2025. It's 2025. We understand what we living in already. We've been there. We've done that. We know our history. We're here now. Are we going to keep doing the same things over and over again? Or are we going to move forward? I want Africa to do great. I want the United States to do great. I want Barbados to do great. I want England to do great. I want the UK to do great. Now, some people make it a race thing all the time. And I'm not, if that's your cup of tea, go for it. Go for it. But I'm not going to make it a race thing all the time. I can tell, we know it's a race thing, you know, behind the scenes. We all understand what's going on here, but I'm not going to be out here saying, oh, these people they're just racist and it's a race thing all the time. And these white people just want all these black people and Spanish people gone and Asian people gone and white people just want to rule the world. That's their race. If they want to rule the world, that's their race. If Africans want to rule the world, that's their race. If Bajans want to rule the world, that's their race. I'm not going to keep going back and forth about it, though. You just got to do what you got to do.
In the country, we fully well know they've committed a crime by crossing that English Channel on a dinghy. That's a crime, that's what it is. Whereas these legal immigrants, we will know their crime backgrounds, we will know who they are.
I can sit here and say, oh yeah, he is racist.
The British people need.
This young kid's going up with a racist attitude. I can say that, but at the same time, I can understand, like,
don't want to help us. Instead, they want to take these
he's
hotels.
kind of right. They are trying to take over.
This hotel is, and it's being used.
They definitely are trying to take over. We understand what's going on there. Nobody's saying we don't understand. But, you know, good luck to them. Good luck to them. We all need it. Even white people need it. Even white people need it. Good luck. Because there's people coming here trying to take your stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. People coming here that's doing better than you're doing. Absolutely. It's just a part of life. It's just a part of life. Let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments, man. That was a very, very interesting clip right there. I enjoyed that one. I got a perspective from UK side, London, where they are dealing with stuff a little bit differently than the United States is dealing with it. They are dealing with it a little bit. Sweetie Pie is to do with what is right. It's always somebody's always gonna make it about that. You know what I mean? Like, and then they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I'm Uncle Tom." Bro, no. We just want to be. We want everything to be smooth. We want everything to go according to plan. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to go back and forth about your thoughts of how slavery impacted black people, and just because you're black you should feel this way. Like, I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm on America, or you mean I'm in America. Everything is race. Yeah, in certain people's eyes, everything is race, but not 24/7 for sure. If that's what you're thinking about 24/7, you lost. You already lost. You're already behind. You're already behind the curve. If you can't go around white people and talk, and if you can't go around Asian people and you're in China and you're black and you go around Asian people, because they probably think the same thing in China. Like, you already lost. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Not all white people are racist. Some white people are racist. We get that. Some black people are racist. Some Asian people are racist. But, you got to go to those that have good character. At the end of the day, some people that'll give you opportunity, whether they're black or white or Asian or Hispanic or Indian. Like, there's good people in every race. And you just got to take advantage of those people. Like, do you want me to stick around with evil people? No. I live in a dream. I get you. I live in the United States of America. I am living in a dream. The American dream. I'm chilling. Shoot. Not only that. Life is amazing. I'm blessed. God got my back in every situation. That's why I really don't think about it. Like, stuff that's supposed to happen is going to happen. I gotta be smart. I gotta be wise with the way I move and places that I go. Clearly, obviously, I'm not dumb. But damn right, I'm gonna be taking advantage of every opportunity that comes right to me. And so should everybody. So should everybody else. And we do that by playing our cards right. We do that by staying out the way, getting things done, going to school, learning what we got to learn. If truly in all, and I say this all the time, like, if white people wanted to start all over and clean the board again and go back to the Civil War days, y'all have the majority of people in America. We understand this. Y'all have the majority of people. So I could understand why, you might feel like y'all are big dog. But in all reality, y'all just normal people. Y'all are just normal people just like me. And regardless of what situation we're in, it's going to be may the best man win. Said I'm kissing ass. Kissing my own ass. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. Like, you gotta, regardless, there's white people that help out. There's white people that don't want anything to do with the past. But there's some that still do. Absolutely. There's some that still do. Do I have to pay it mind? I could. I do. But still gotta do what I gotta do regardless. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not ignorant to nothing. I'm not stupid. We ain't stupid. Some of us don't have no clue. Some of us don't have no clue, but let me move on to the next subject. Trump. Sending troops. This is the next subject I wanted to get into. Speak out. Absolutely. I'm against racism. I'm against people wanting to kill each other over race. That stuff obviously it's pointless. It's the history, but it's pointless. And honestly, people should speak out against it. That's why we talk about it, not just to hear one side. If you have a side that you think is much better that they should, bring to the table, then you should say that. You should say that. You should have your plan. And it'll always come down to which one do the majority of people agree with. You know what I mean? I agree with you. I agree. Did you hear the breaking news on Kamala Harris's what? No, I didn't hear that. If you're a political channel, you have to talk about everything. Eventually, I would like people to call in. Honestly, I don't mind people calling. I don't mind having the conversation because I would really like to know y'all thoughts. Honestly, I'd really like to know y'all thoughts, and I will eventually have calls. I will eventually, bro. Stay tuned, but stay tuned. I'm gonna get into the last subject, man. I'm gonna get into the last subject. This one is about Donald Trump sending National Guard different states. Let's see what people have to say about it. NBC. Second.
Tonight, National Guard troops will be armed.
We in Chicago with it. Chi-Town, stand up. If you guys been following me for a while, y'all know how I feel about Chicago already.
Tonight, National Guard troops will be armed while patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. A DoD official telling NBC News they're officially authorized for self-protection. It's a scene Chicago is hoping to avoid. Their mayor, Brandon Johnson, tonight pushing back on President Trump's threat to send the National Guard to more American cities.
We don't need cities across America occupied.
Said you didn't know I was pro-Trump. I would love to finish this conversation. I wanted to get into the next subject. But we can talk about this real quick. I'll just rewind. It was only 20 seconds. No one is better. That's my opinion. No one is better. But you saying he's against everything black. What do you mean by that? Explain to me. Explain. Please explain. Let's talk about children's safety. grandfather, you. That's why they're protesting. I agree. I agree. Agree with you. I don't understand. I don't understand Sweetie Pie's point though. Like, just because I'm black and I like Trump, or I voted for Trump, now I'm ignorant. This is not like I can't win. I can't win. If I voted for Kamala, you'd be like, oh yeah, you should have, you definitely did because you're a Democrat. You're supposed to be there. They don't look out for you either. Nobody's looking out for me. I gotta look out for myself, regardless.
Tonight, National Guard troops will be armed while patrolling the
Let's tune
streets of
into it,
Washington, D.C. A DOD official telling NBC News they're officially authorized for self-protection. It's a scene Chicago is hoping to avoid. Their mayor, Brandon Johnson, tonight pushing back on President Trump's threat to send the National Guard to more American cities.
We don't need cities across America occupied by our military. They don't have policing powers. They don't have arresting powers.
The president also suggesting on social media this morning, I will send in the troops to Baltimore after targeting New York and Chicago in the Oval Office Friday.
We'll go in and we'll straighten out Chicago, just like we did D.C. Chicago is very dangerous.
According to Chicago police statistics, murders, robberies, and shootings are all down more than 30% this year. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker accusing Trump of abusing his power and saying in a statement that there is no emergency that warrants deploying the National Guard. Chicago has been a frequent focus of Trump's criticism, going back to his first term when he sent hundreds of federal agents in 2020 to target violent crime.
Help is on its way.
But the latest threats come after the president mobilized D.C.'s National Guard this month and took over the California National Guard in July over the objections of state and local leaders. As Illinois leaders and the ACLU vow a swift legal response.
He says more black people voted for Trump. Absolutely. More black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, Indian people. A lot more people voted for Trump. It's just because he was the better candidate. It might have not even been because he was the best person for the in the people's eyes. Like next time do better. that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I gotta say. If y'all ever watched this channel before, y'all know how I feel. Murders happen every week. Every week. We used to cover Chicago crime every week. There would be something to you just literally Google Chicago news once a week. It's a couple. And now he's trying to come in and clean it up. People have a problem.
There's a higher barrier for the president to send National Guard into Chicago. He's going to have to articulate a reason for doing it.
Shaquille Brewster joins us now from Chicago. And Shaq, the Trump administration may have a harder time getting National Guard boots on the ground where you are in Chicago compared to here in D.C.
Absolutely, Hallie. Leaders here are raising constitutional and states' rights concerns, suggesting that legal pushback would come almost instantly. It's a similar line of messaging that you're hearing from Maryland's Governor Wes Moore, who's calling Trump's use of a National Guard a scare tactic. Hallie?
Listen, man, I say do it. I say do it. I say do it. Here's why. All right, and I'm going to play another video about this. I say do it because I feel like Chicago could use that. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of the Navy is just chilling, sitting, not doing much, and getting paid. They might as well be on the streets as kind of like patrol officers, making sure that everything is just moving smoothly. I say do it. I say do it. Let's see what else MSNBC has to say about this.
So, Chris, first LA, DC, now potentially
Whole
Baltimore,
panel
Chicago.
of people, actually.
From a law enforcement perspective, in terms of planning and effectiveness, what do you see
I say
in
do
what
it.
the president is talking about doing?
Well, I think as Governor Moore articulated, this is a manufactured crisis, which he's done repeatedly to justify the deployment.
Someone said, I am concerned about our black folks killing each other.
Completely inappropriate.
We are American.
And I would say, arguably, one of the most
concerned about people killing each
un-American
other.
things that you can do. You know, as we approach
Honestly.
our 250th anniversary, you know, remember what we rebelled against.
They
It
ain't trying
was
to kill nobody.
tyrannical
Trying to
rule,
kill-
oppressive
How you trying to kill
policies,
somebody?
and the stationing of troops in U.S. cities. Troops are not there for policing. It's why
They don't need their help. So whose help
was
do they need,
drafted
sweetie pie?
after the Civil War, you know,
So,
getting us through Reconstruction.
What should
and there are a few
Chirac
exceptions
do
for
about it?
None of the things
what
he
should they
is
do about
mentioning
it?
are exceptions. The use of National Guard, they're not police. There's not an emergency. There's not a national emergency. There's not an insurrection. All the things that you're allowed to use National Guard troops to support policing, none of those things exist right now. So they'll be ineffective. They're not trained. They don't have the authority to do it. And if he truly wanted to drive crime down, like he could have done in D.C., you could surge the FBI and other federal agencies to supplement.
They did in D.C. Like they did in D.C. It's not like they could have. It's crime absolutely went down once National Guard was outside. It's not even a question. And there's a lot of people in D.C. actually thankful that that happened. a lot of people more so than not, actually. So that's why, to me, I'm like, it's not really that big of an issue if you're a law-abiding citizen, of course. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But, you know, some people think this is too much.
The actions that are going on there, but
I
in
don't know.
limited scale.
Y'all let me know
going
y'all
after
thoughts.
violent gangs, going after, you know, fugitives. There's some things that you could do. But this
No, Chicago
broad
definitely
sword
asked for
is
help.
not the approach that you want.
You
A
mean
lot
the
of people.
president has essentially declared
A lot of people
victory
in
in
Chicago
DC.
be
That's
saying,
what
we need to
just
stop
heard
this
from him as he continues to speak in the Oval Office. So what might that mean for
I've
what's
covered
next?
this.
Well, the president
talked
is
to
declaring
people.
a sort of victory in Washington, D.C., but he's also tightening his grip around the city.
Just
Just today,
handle
the
our
president signed an executive order trying to force Washington, D.C. to end its cashless bail system that's been there since 1992. And a second executive order is targeting nationwide cities and states.
That's
that being
right.
said, the president has also said that he wants to send the National Guard to other cities and states. He specifically name-checked Maryland and California, though he also said maybe he wants to be invited. Take a listen.
We want to
The same side Dirk
go
is
from
from.
here to other places, but I was telling some of the people that in a certain way, you really want to be asked to go. You know, I hate to barge in on a city and then be treated horribly by corrupt politicians.
Now, the president said in part that he wants to be invited because he doesn't want politicians to take credit for any sort of drop in crime that might come from a federalization or federal actions in a city or state. But the president also said, and this is really important, that he's not going to wait to be invited. So he's also essentially hinting at the idea that he might send the National Guard into Illinois or California or Maryland against the wishes of those governors. Chris?
Thank you for that, Yamiche. Governor, look, you understand very clearly what it means when the National Guard comes into your state, what it means when it comes in to a community. Donald Trump essentially said today that
Shout out to Old Block.
not only was he not happy that he wasn't being thanked for this, he suggested that there are people who want a dictator.
Evil,
He
man.
says, I'm not a dictator. I'm being accused of being a dictator. But some people may want someone to come in and take control. So I
Where
wonder
was you
how
for the Where was you for the
see
mass
this and what the
shooting,
options
sweetie
are
pie,
for
that I
governors
did
in this
first?
case.
I would have loved your
I
opinion
mean,
on
I
that.
have to tell you, I have such a different take than what we've just heard. They talk about a manufactured crisis. Have you been in Chicago? Have you been in Baltimore? But my daughter went to school in Chicago. I remember the day she graduated, there were shootings and killings right outside of her building. And in
So a lot of
Baltimore,
people
I have
don't
friends
mind
that go
safe
down to
streets.
Johns Hopkins, get
Are we at
treated
least
for
on the same
medical
page about
conditions.
that?
I mean, they are nervous
Are we at
about
least on the
ever
same
going
page
there.
about
There
that?
are parts of Baltimore that he tells me he wouldn't go into, and this is not some right-wing person. This is somebody who wants to be able to go into some of our great cities and be able to be safe. Now, I do think it's important that if you're going to do this, you've got to define the mission. You've got to talk about your authority, and I think one of the earlier guest was saying that, well, maybe there's narrow ways to do it. I agree with that, but that just then says that there are ways to do it. And if I had had a crisis in Cleveland, we thought we were going to have riots, or in Columbus or whatever, I would never have put, the fact that, well, I'm governor, so I would want to work with other people who wanted to help me.
Shot up a school in Minneapolis,
and look, what's been happening in Chicago has been terrible. The crime rate is high. The gang problem is real. I tried to get Arnie Duncan, the former education secretary under Obama, to run for mayor. He's out there trying to work to get, to deal with the gang problem. He didn't want to do it, but I think Chicago is a jewel of America, and we just cannot let lawlessness and fear dominate these cities. So, yeah, I think we need to know what the mission is. I think we need to know what the authority is. I think we need to know what the length is. But the idea that these cities are somehow fine, I think you're
I don't
just
think
you're
anybody.
whistling.
Listen.
I heard
I
the
take your
word
point.
manufacturing crisis. This is a manufactured crisis. No, it's not. It is a crisis. There are
Go
people
ahead, Basil.
at
You're
risk
dying
in
to
these
jump
cities.
in here.
I absolutely disagree, because if this were a crisis, rents wouldn't be $4,000 a month for a studio, right? We have an affordability crisis in some of these cities because people want to move there. People want to live there. So you can't have this manufactured crisis and think that it's a real crisis if you have this, if there is a demand for $4,000 a month studio apartments. So having said that, the one point, and I agree with everything you said, and one of the things that you said at the end is where I want to pick up on.
You mean Chris or the governor?
I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
This said that you said at the end that I want to pick up on. Because what does get left out in this conversation is that the people that live in those communities, these communities where the crime,
I hope you a woman saying I like men meat.
Those residents are not passive in wanting to try to make their communities better. So what they do is they do partner with law enforcement. They go to the local police precincts. They are in those community organization meetings with federal and local law enforcement to try to find solutions to these problems. If you want the federal government to be involved, there are tons of nonprofits that get support to be violence interrupters, to go into violent situations to try to bring some peace to their neighborhoods. None of that is really getting discussed here. What the president is saying is he wants to have law enforcement with long guns in these neighborhoods to put fear in the minds of those residents in communities that are largely led by black mayors. Where is the partnership? That's not being discussed. Where is the elevation of those community voices and those leaders that want something done? That's not being discussed. And so don't tell me that that somehow there is this rampant crime and criminality where people don't want to be in these cities when there's an affordability crisis in those same areas.
Well, I think it is fair to say, objective to say, that the crime statistics show that crime is down. Having said that, there's no one who lives in probably almost any city in America who doesn't wish that things were better, right? So to the point of all of that, Barbara, there's a political conversation that is not happening between the president and governors and mayors. The mayor of Chicago, Barbara, put out a statement yesterday saying, this is just in part, quote, "We are currently evaluating all of our legal options to protect the people of Chicago from unconstitutional federal overreach." Do they have legal options, Barb?
Yes. So, what we saw in Los Angeles was the president relying on a very particular authority when there was unrest in relation to protests about immigration. He was able to use an authority there. In Washington, D.C., we have a very unique municipality that is the seat of the federal government that gives the president some authorities to control policing there for a limited period of time. When it
I
comes
wants
to
to
other
know if you
cities
got
generically
mommy and
across
daddy
the country,
issues.
the president must rely on a specific authority. If he's going to declare an emergency, he has to state the basis of it. He has to find a statute to hang his hat on. And so until we know what that is, it's difficult to know what authority he might have whatsoever to go into these cities. But if he does, I imagine that cities may challenge that assertion of authority. In Los Angeles, the authority required that there be some sort of insurrection or rebellion. You know, ordinary high crime statistics are not the same as an insurrection or a rebellion. Under the Posse Comitatus Act, the National Guard and other law enforcement agencies are prohibited from simply enforcing the law, criminal laws against the people. That goes right back to the origins of our country, where we worried about overreach by a federal government that was acting like a monarchy. And so I'm sure cities like Chicago and Baltimore, if they do find the president bringing in federal troops or federal law enforcement to take on this sort of overriding role, we will see legal challenges to that.
So I'm wondering, Chris, one thing the governor of Illinois said over the weekend was this: Trump's goal is to incite fear in our communities and destabilize existing public safety efforts to create a justification to further abuse power. We've pointed this out in some places. Baltimore, Chicago, violent crime rates have been going down. They are down. Again, are they where everyone would want them to be? You'd want them to be at zero. Having said that, could these deployments actually hurt what these efforts have been and the way that they have been moving in the right direction?
Yeah, there's going. By the way, I agree with.
It's a lot of common sense stuff happening, bro. I mean, some of the stuff, you know, questionable. Not everything is perfect, but majority of the stuff is common sense stuff. Like, I don't mind. Again, I don't mind policing. I don't mind a little if the National Guard had to came in and because they needed to get crime under control or something, or they just needed more police officers out there in these streets to make the crime go down a little bit, or if not all, like that would be okay, honestly. I remember not too long ago, they called the National Guard for a high school out here in Massachusetts. They had to get it under control somehow, just because the kids was doing whatever school. That's how bad the school was. That was the reputation. So the kids in the high school of a Massachusetts town or city can get the National Guard sent to that school. Why can't the city have the National Guard help prevent crime and just have them out on the streets to make sure everything is cool? People could walk at night. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The school is under control now. You know, the teachers are back in control now. And, like, sometimes things could get a little bit out of hand, and you just got to reel it in a little bit, you know,
Governor,
until we don't need it.
My daughter lives in Washington, D.C., and there is crime there, but this is not the way you solve it. When I drove into Washington, on Friday and Saturday, there were not tires burning. There weren't roving mobs, of people with weapons. So the deployment of the military is not the approach. And look back
These
at LA.
people are not
They
doing
U.S.
much,
Marines.
though.
I'm a former U.S. Marine.
They
It's an
pretty much
infantry
could be
battalion.
police
The
officers.
basic maneuver component
in a
is an
sense.
infantry rifle squad.
They're not
The
really
mission
doing much.
is
Some
to
police
locate,
officers don't really
close
do
with,
much
and destroy
either.
the enemy by fire and maneuver, or to repel the enemy's assault by fire in close combat. That is the stated mission. That
When
is
they need
not
to do something,
what
they
we
do.
should be sending to U.S. cities. The second order effect of normalizing that is you're going to start getting people pushing back. So you will create that very violence that you're trying to drive down. I've been deployed all over the world. You want to see how an insurgency starts? You put unnecessary militarization and oppressive policies in a place. Again, going back to our origin story, the reason the Boston Tea Party happened, which was an act of political violence, was in rebellion against such deployments of troops.
Let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below, man. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. We gonna read these comments and then we're gonna get y'all out of here. Thank you guys for really tuning in. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Sweetie pie. I was raised nicely, no hatred. I have opinions. I love the black race clearly. Hey, love you too, sweetie pie. Dude, although we might not agree on everything, dude, thank you. I really do really appreciate your viewership, you know, and your comments. You know, you could have just, whatever. I'm not this guy. He's so and so, but now you stayed in. You stayed in. You're a real one. You're a real one. Thank you though. Ronnie, I believe he wants a woman that wants him alone, not meats. Someone that can be loyal to one man, not meats. That was a good one. That was a good one. I gotta be honest. That was a good one. I don't like my woman to have inside of them for sure. Just one. Oh man. Never mentioned anything in color. That's why I'm giving your parents. Move, smart move. I'm just a cop. I appreciate you, sweetie. Honestly, I mean, thank you. Even if you're just here for my looks, whatever, it's cool. I'm married, you know. I mean, stay focused in college. You gotta be successful in your streets. Focused on meats. Focus on one meat if you can. I'm just joking. And the National Guard when they have orders to defend them. It's a fact. That's a fact. Regardless, man, you gotta. We want these streets to be clean, man. That's really it. Like, we don't need anything. We want anything. Ronnie's gay, obviously older. Am I don't know. I don't really know Ronnie, but I appreciate Ronnie for tuning in. I really do. I appreciate L. I appreciate a lot of you guys. I thank you for, you know, this was an amazing episode. We got more work to do. I should be back tomorrow morning. Maybe even actually try to get. But yeah, I appreciate y'all viewership, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys married with 6 children, loyal to the married men. Shout out to the married women. Shout out to the family guys. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. That's the goals. That's the movement. You a family man. You a wife. Settle down. Enjoy your life. Simple. Simple. Shout out to y'all, man. I thank you guys. I really do. Y'all are cool, man. I hope y'all left a like, and I hope y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all are new, man. I appreciate everything that you guys helped me with today, y'all. Till next time, love you guys. I appreciate you. Hopefully, I'll see y'all next time.